Hi guys, my name is Rafa and I'm very proud to being here for you. Today we have a very nice episode concerning Mini 2. This is a beginner's guide and I prepared this one especially for the first time users, for the beginners. We're gonna perform the first steps, we're gonna prepare the craft to the first flight, and I'm gonna share with you my best experiences, and I'm gonna support you in the very first steps. So let's jump into the content right now, and I keep the fingers crossed. So right now let's move on to the basic steps after unboxing. The aircraft itself, it is not active and it is secured by the stickers. First of all, we should remove all the stickers from entire drone, both from the arms and the gimbal cover as well as a battery cover. The second thing we should perform is to charge the batteries. The batteries from the drone, from the remote controller as well as a mobile device. In the meantime, we can get familiar with the construction and basic functions of the tiny and fantastic Mini 2. So no matter which version did you buy, is it a basic version or combo, you have the same elements. I mean, basically you have a drone and controller. Of course, you can have a bag or charging hub, but right now we are going to talk about the drone itself. At the top we have no buttons, no lights, no controls, no sensors, anything. So there is empty space. Then we have foldable arms, left one and the right one, and rear folding with the turn. So we need to turn to unfold the arms. It's pretty important and worth to mention that you should check out before installation if you have the right set of propellers and where is the mark. If you have the stripe right here and right here. So the mark is on the front right arm and on the rear left arm. The same is on the propeller. So you can see here is the stripe as well as here. So this propeller rotates counterclockwise. Right now we are on the front of the aircraft. Here we have the gimbal cover and camera protection. Right here we have a front LED, and this lamp can change color, you can adjust it from the app. On the side we have the ventilation holes, so it is important to not stick or not to block the air, because we have a OcuSync right here, so the temperature is pretty crucial, and temperature exchange must be performed during the flight. Right now on the bottom side we have a power button. So to power on the aircraft we just press once quickly or briefly, and then the second one longer. So let's perform this one quickly and then longer. Yeah? But now we have a gimbal cover, so we need to just release the gimbal cover, and right now it's fine. The gimbal itself stabilizes in 3 axes. As you see, the camera is pretty stable and it works really fine. The gimbal works perfectly even in a very high velocity, high speed. Let's turn it off. Right here you have also ventilation system, so there is gravity, no mechanical ventilation, only the holes. And here we have the visual positioning system, so it helps aircraft to retain the position and to land safely and take off and remain the previous home point and position. It is really crucial if there is a dark outside, you should be really aware that the VPS visual positioning system is not supporting your flight. So you should find a spot with better lighting, or just use some additional lighting to just prepare the spot for the start and landing. The button right here, this is a status lamp. as well as quick transfer button, so you can send pictures and you can send the videos directly to the mobile application, to the mobile device from the aircraft via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So let's go to the rear. Right here we have the USB-C port. This is for charging if you have no charging hub. If you have a basic version, you can charge directly from here. You can use a power bank or just the plug for the charging. And this is a memory card slot. Unfortunately, Mini 2 has no internal storage, so you need to provide your own card. It's not included, and the card should be pretty fast because the bitrate is pretty impressive, around 100 bits per second, so we need to use pretty fast memory card. Let's open the cover. This is the battery compartment. The battery has own system to just fix the position. It's a little bit different than the previous version. First, the size is different, and then the capacity is a little bit different, and also the voltage. So it's not recommended to use both. Actually, it's possible to use the battery from version 1 right here, but it is not possible to use this battery to the version 1. So we can just use the batteries from Mavic Mini. But as I told you, it is unfortunately not recommended to use both batteries in the second version of Mini. So to realize which direction, we can just have a look at the connector. The connector is on the top, so we position and it should click, the battery should click in the place, then we can close the cover. That's more or less about the aircraft. Let's jump into the remote controller. Some people say transmitter or radio, but this is more or less the same. So talking about the front face, unfortunately we have no display, not screen. We have only buttons or sticks. Here is the power button, so you do the same. To power on the drone, you just the remote controller, you just press it once and then press and hold around 1 second and it's on. Now it's searching for the signal with the drone. Mini is on and the remote controller is on. What is important, the mode switch. This is the switch of flight mode. So we have the Cine Smooth, Normal and Sport. When you are starting with the drones, you should start definitely practicing with Cine Smooth. It's very precise and slow mode. Then later, when you are confident more, you can swap into the Normal. But the Sport is pretty fast, and remember that it needs a lot of space to just brake, because it is around 15 even more than 15 meters per second. So this is the mode switch. Right here we have the return home button. DJI calls it return to home, but it's actually a return home button. So when you press and hold, it starts the fail-safe procedure, come back to the previous home point, the starting spot. You can also brake, so you can pause the maneuver just by pressing once. During the return to home or quick shots or some automatic intelligent flight modes, you can just pause by pressing once. In some modes, you can just press by touching the sticks, like quick shots. 2 sticks, they are on the gimbal, so they are used to control the flight. We use the left sticks in a mode number 2 because the mode number 2 is a standard. Going up is up, going down is down, and then turn left, turn right. That's all. Right stick is responsible for flying in one particular surface. Flying left, flying right, flying forward and backwards. That's pretty easy and simple, and but you need to practice just a bit to get used to, because it's a little bit unnatural for the first moment, but later on you're gonna get used to, so it's pretty fine. It's important to perform the first flights on the open area and pretty also soft, like grass or some fields. I wouldn't recommend concrete or hard surfaces, because you know sometimes the accidents happen. And stay away from the high buildings, trees or power lines. And this is a function button, so you can control, for example, gimbal position from front up to down, top down, by pressing this one. We can adjust and we can control, or we can just define these functions from the application DJI Fly, swapping from photo up to video. So this is the mode changing. You can change from video mode up to photo mode, and from taking pictures to recording the videos. Right here we have the shutter button as well as recording button. For the pictures you use a shutter, for the recording you use a record button. Yeah, this controller is just for mobile phone. Unfortunately, when you want to use the tablet you need to print some special adapter, but it's possible. I'm using iPad mini and it's really fine, but I had to print some extension adapter, but it's easy. This is USB-C and it's for the cable to mobile device. You can use both Android or iOS. So you have micro SD, you have USB-C or Lightning. And here is the gimbal wheel, so you can control gimbal from here, from the wheel. It looks pretty nice, and I think it's really great to have such a control. It's pretty smooth, and we can go from the straight up to top-down position. So once you get to know the drone and the remote controller, then you need to install the application. It is DJI Fly. You can find it in App Store or Google Play Store, or on the DJI.com website. When you start the Mavic Mini for the very first time, you need to update the firmware of the aircraft, because they are really very smart developers, so we need to update the firmware pretty often. I would say even once 2 months there are some updates, and when the process stops, you are ready to fly. Of course, if you have no DJI account, you have to set it up. It's pretty easy. You just need an email address and then the password. You define the password. This is the profile information, so each flight is recorded and you have the history. You can have the data from your flights. It's pretty detailed, especially in a case of warranty calls or requests. Alright guys, that's pretty much everything for today. In the next episode I'm gonna tell you more about the DJI Fly app, but for now that's it. I keep fingers crossed. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope it's useful for you and you can benefit. Of course we're gonna cover a little bit more information in the next episodes. So see you again soon, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.